On Etina with me, Vinny Motiwal, along with me, Cheryl D'Souza as well. Cheryl, a very good morning to you. We are surely in those bright colors, but markets are not that bright and shiny today, Trade.
Absolutely. We are actually, to be very precise, we are in the shades of sun, if you say that. But yes, if you look at the markets, they are not kind of replicating the mood here in the studio. We have a flat trading session coming in for the benchmark indices. But yes, what's key to note is the fact that we saw a very smart recovery from the day's lowest point. So right now you have the Nifty that is trading flat with a negative bias, still holding above the 17,900 mark. You have Sensex that's drift below the 61,000 mark, but nevertheless 60 points cuts coming in for Sensex. Talking about Nifty Bank, that one is moving in tandem with the benchmark indices, flat with a negative bias as we speak. Key to note is that the advance decline ratio as of now is still tilted towards in the favor of the advances. So for now, that is some sort of a solace or a hope that we have for the markets. If you look at the list of gainers today, you have Apollo Hospitals reacting to earnings, 3.5% uptake, Aisha Motors reacting to earnings, 3% uptake. Adani Enterprises, remember yesterday during market hours, the earnings had come out for this one, 2.5% uptake coming in for that one. And Reliance Industry continues to buck the trend, which we will talk quite a lot in depth in a short while from now. So Reliance also lending good support to the benchmark indices. But on the flip side is the FMCG counters that are actually under pressure. So you have ITC, that is the top loser on the Nifty at this juncture, 1.8% downtick coming in for ITC, ONGC, HOL, Britannia, L&T are the other list of losers in trade today. So let's take a look at what the sectoral industry is doing right now. FMCG index is a top sectoral loser, given the fact that you have most of those FMCG names as the top losers on the Nifty as well. So you have FMCG index that's down about 1%. Power index is down about 0.7%. Pharma index also seeing some slight bit of shade of red in today's trading session, but metals is holding on to good gains, 0.7% uptick coming in for the metals. Realty also seeing some sort of gains in today's trading session. But like I mentioned, Vinny, we will be taking a deep dive into Reliance Industries, and let me bring on board actually Kunal for that right now to tell us exactly what's happening with Reliance Industries. Is Reliance Industries set for a big breakout? Kunal?
I think it's an emphatic yes for Reliance Industries, because this is more of a very coherent kind of an interesting indicator breakout. Now, this is the charts for Reliance Industries spanned over the last 12-13 months approximately from 2022. Now, this is the indicator which is more important to map out for Reliance Industries. It's more known as a trend indicator. Now, every time a trend indicator gives a breakout, so for example, this was seen in June 2022 where the stock was almost at 2,500 levels. This was the point the breakout happened, and look at the start of a trend for the stock. This was almost like a 10% swing for Reliance Industries, where from 2,500, 2,550 mark, the stock went up to as much as 2,800 levels. This was seen in July 2022 when the stock started to get into a consolidation, and then post that consolidation, confirmation of a breakout, we saw the stock moving towards levels of 2,750 mark. Similar breakout was seen in the month of September, where the stock bottomed out. Look at this consolidation for the stock, and then post the breakout, the stock started to get into a trending phase, and in a matter of 1.5 odd months, the stock confirmed a 10% swing. Now, this is exactly very similar in terms of the price structure. So as you can see, the previous instances, the stock goes into a correction, consolidates for almost 2 to 3 weeks, and then starts to get into a trending breakout. This is again a very similar kind of a breakout. Now, what's more interesting is the data for Reliance Industries on the futures front. Now, this yesterday's move is confirmed by the kind of sudden change in the open interest. So as you can see, the last 5 days, there's hardly any change in the open interest for Reliance Industries, just about 2,500 contracts plus or minus for the stock. And yesterday's data indicates that there is almost a 16 lakh unwinding of contracts for Reliance Industries. So that itself indicates that there was a major short covering which happened on the stock. Couple this up with the indicator breakout, this indicates that this could be a strong 10% up move over the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay, surely an up move that we could be expecting from a Reliance in the next couple of months. But Cheryl, there's interesting because there are a lot of triggers actually that come in for Reliance as well. Key triggers, some of them that we should look at, in terms of the 5G tariff hikes in the telecom space that we could see coming in. In the O2C business, how is that going to be faring as well? Is something that we should keep an eye out on. And obviously, do not forget, some concerns that we have in the capex cycle, debt rising as well. So a key trigger, key important points that we'll be discussing with Somit as well. Let's wait for Somit to come, but surely a one to watch out for. And Somit is here with us. Somit, please take it away. Give us an understanding of Reliance in terms of what are the key triggers, key negatives, concerns that you're keeping an eye out on.
Well, in case of Reliance Industries, if you see, it holds a weightage of close to 10.4% on the Nifty, and for a very long time, the stock has not moved on the positive side. In the last 1 month, if you see, the stock's down around 3%. In the last 6 months, the stock's down around 10%, and in the last 1 year, it has declined by around 2%. So no positive up move that we have seen so far in Reliance Industries. So what are the potential triggers that we can expect which could lead to a good share price returns going forward? Firstly, for the telecom business, if you see, it's a tariff hike that could be the most important trigger for this business, because of late we have seen that without tariff hike, the revenue growth or the top line growth for the Geo business has been pretty much subdued around 3 to 4% odd. But whenever there's a tariff hike, we've seen a good growth of around 10 odd percent, and that is what is needed for good financial growth for the telecom business. Along with this, 5G ramp up is also important for the telecom business. And when it comes to the oil to chemical segment, is the China demand recovery, refining upcycle, and removal of windfall taxes that is important for a trigger, for an upside trigger when it comes to the O2C segment. When it comes to the gas exploration segment, prices are expected to remain pretty much stable, but it's the production which is expected to increase, and that will lead the earnings growth for the gas exploration business. And lastly, for the new energy business, there is the commissioning of the first phase of solar PV module and the grid scale battery plants that is important and expected to happen in the second half of calendar year 2023, and will be the key trigger for the new energy business. Along with this, more supportive moves coming in from the government will also be important for the new energy business. However, there are few concerns among the investor community when it comes to Reliance Industries, and firstly, it's related to the capex cycle. Now, Reliance Industries has entered a new capex cycle, and in past also we have seen whenever Reliance Industries is in a capex phase, the share prices have not gained so much or have not given more returns to investors in that period. And at this moment, there's also a lack of visibility of how the capital expenditure, the capital allocation will be towards this capital expenditure. Also, if you see the debt of Reliance Industries, it has started to move up currently from a net a cash company. It has a debt of close to 1 lakh crore rupees right now, and also a general consumption slowdown is one of the worries when it comes to Reliance Industries, because consumption companies, that is telecom and retail, continue to contribute more to its SOTP valuation. So if there's a slowdown, then that could also be one of the concerns or negatives when it comes to Reliance Industries going ahead.
Thank you so much for that, Somit, for putting into context what's actually the key triggers for Reliance Industries going ahead, or what other concerns that this particular counter can have. But let me pose that question now to Saurabh Jain. A very good morning to you, Saurabh. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. It's been a while actually that you've been on the show, but tell me, what's your take on Reliance Industries? Do you think that this will continue to weather all the storms, all the concerns, and continue to march ahead? Because Kunal is definitely of the view that Reliance Industries is set for a big breakout.
Hi, good morning. See, in the last 6 months or so, or last 1 year, it hasn't performed well on the buses. Besides that, if you look at the capex plan, Reliance is putting up a good show. Or they are firing all the cylinders, and that is why even markets are jittery about the capex plans. But as we go ahead, I think in the next 3-4 quarters, things will get much clear with respect to the expansion of the 5G plan rollout. They have started to roll out in some cities, and because of the good product mix, I think Jio is doing well. Retail business is doing well. This time around, oil business also did well. So I think if you look at the debt level, net debt levels also, I think it covers the 12 months EBITDA only. So that is not a concern. I think Reliance Industries will still be a portfolio stock, and you never know when the elephant starts to run. So in my take, I think Reliance is a is at good level to buy.
Saurabh's view coming in on Reliance as well. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break, viewers. Don't go anywhere, because we will be back and we will be taking all your stock-related queries after this break.
power
should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
and analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. kickstart your
Welcome back. Excuse me. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. And let's bring about Saurabh to ask him very pertinent question. Saurabh, given the fact the way how the markets are panning out right now, a lot of volatility. Actually, markets have been pretty flat also of late. What should retail investors do in such a market scenario to keep their wealth protected?
I think the last few months, what was witnessed in the global arena and the domestic markets, that inflation started abating, and markets perceived that the central bankers will not be that hawkish, and the interest rate cycle may have peaked off. And in that fashion, we saw growth stocks came back in the action, like in the Nasdaq, we saw good amount of buying. Here in India also, we saw that IT stocks started to march up, and even new age businesses started to march up. I think that case has got beaten now with the inflation inching up in the US and in the Indian markets. I think there is still way to go that central bankers will hike interest rate, and I think the way to 22 pan out in the same fashion 23 will pan out. Value stocks will take over the growth stock, and in my opinion, banking. Selective, low multiple stocks, dividend yielding stocks, maybe for example PSUs will rule the street. So in that sense, I think our advice would be to stick with the capital goods sector, banking sector, and the stocks which have high dividend yield, because cost of money is going to remain high in 2023.
Okay, on that note, let's get started with all your stock-related queries. You can send us your queries either on YouTube, WhatsApp, or even our Twitter link. The WhatsApp number will be flashing on your screens as well. But let's start the first query, Kunal, for you. And this one is on City Union Bank as well as Tourism Finance. Now, D'Souza from Mumbai is holding City Union Bank at 204 rupees per share, while Tourism Finance at 86 rupees per share. What is the right time to actually start averaging the stocks out, and what is the target that one should keep for this one?
See, City Union Bank, I would still suggest to avoid the stock as of now. It's not yet shown signs of classical bottom formation, so we'll wait out for maybe another couple of weeks. My sense is that it would not be a major price correction, but more of a time-wise correction. But for transport, tourism finance, I think that's a stock which you can look to buy at current levels. The correction seems to be intense from 95 rupees to 73, 74, where the stock is trading right now, and it seems to be that the indicators are oversold. So that's a good stock, or as well as a good level to buy or average.
Alright, this one is coming from Saumitra, and this one is for you, Saurabh. He's planning to move some money from insurance to chemicals and Happiest Minds, primarily the portions of SBI Life and ICICI Lombard, which he's already invested in. He's saying while SBI Life is the only stock that has made money in the insurance sector, Lombard has been a long-term laggard. Do you think that the swap will make sense, or should he stay put with SBI Life as well as ICICI Lombard and not look to shift from there to chemicals and Happiest Minds instead?
I think, in my opinion, insurance stocks in India have been valued at a much higher, if you compare it with any of the emerging markets and even the developed markets. The opinion was that Indian market is very low penetration. Low penetration is there, and there is a way to go for these companies to make inroads in the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. So in that sense, the valuations was high. And in the budget, when the announcement came that we are shifting to the new regime, and gradually the old regime government will take out old regime, and in that because of that only, I think Indian people do invest in very much in the insurance to save their money in the insurance, and these companies make money. So in that sense, I think it is better to get out of the insurance stocks. And I think it is better to play out the financials and the capital goods stocks, because I think the government is very much spending on the infrastructure side. The corporates capacity utilization is close to 75%. We are listening to the huge capex planned ahead, and even the bigger corporates who were borrowing money from the overseas markets are coming back to the Indian markets. For the first time, we are seeing credit growth coming close to 17-18%. So I would recommend him to convert the holding to stocks like ICICI Bank for that matter, Axis or Kotak, and in the capital goods side, for example, Larsen Toubro, Siemens, ABB, these kind of stocks. And I think here investing for a year or 2 year will fetch good returns.
Kunal, the next query we have is from Pratiksha from Oman, and this one is on UPL1. They want to know what is the immediate resistance value for this stock, as well as on Concor. If they're making a loss currently of 15%, should they exit, hold, or switch to some other stock?
So UPL has been a tough stock, frankly, to preempt, because every time the stock gets into a breakout, and we've seen this multiple times for, at least I've seen this multiple times for UPL, that the stock comes very closer to a breakout of the previous resistance, and then it rather fails to cross about those levels, and then it gets into a corrective phase. So it's more of a stock which gets into a time-wise correction. So you can preempt a breakout, but then I'm not sure whether the stock would successfully give the kind of signals which has been pending for the stock since last 1 year. As of now, the breakout point for UPL or a resistance point is just about that 780, 785 mark on the spot levels. For Concor, on the other hand, I would still suggest to hold on to the stock as of now, maybe keep a buffer of another 5%, which is also, if I'm not wrong, very close to the previous swing low for Concor. That could be a stop loss for the trade. This has been a sharp correction for the stock, but if it manages to hold on to this previous swing low and doesn't correct beyond that, I think there's a reasonable chance that the stock can give a strong bounce back.
Okay, another one also for you, Kunal. This one is coming from Syed, and he wants to know about RK Forgings or Ramkrishna Forgings. He's saying he's able to see cup and handle pattern, and is on back of that, he wants to know, is it a good time to take trade, and what will be stop loss and targets?
Well, I would suggest to avoid, frankly, because the stock is now getting into a zone of correction. 2 days of mild correction for the stock. It has a tendency of coming back towards its major support trend line. So that could probably happen if the stock corrects towards 265, 268 levels. So I think a better level to buy the stock, even if you're looking at this as a short-term play, would be just about that 265 mark, or between the band of 265 to 268.
Saurabh, Nageshwar from Hyderabad is holding Sheela Foams at a price of around 1,187 rupees per share. Now, what they're saying is, obviously, the stock has touched those highs of 2,000, then corrected, and then again bounced back to those 1,700 levels. Given that, the company's actually reported a muted set of numbers in Q3, what is a fundamental view on Sheela Foams, and should they be continuing to hold this one? What should they be doing now?
I think if you look at the valuations, the stock is trading close to 8 times to book value, 60 times to earnings, and the kind of multiple that stock is enjoying on the bourses does not commensurate with the kind of growth that company is seeing. So in the last 2-3 quarters, the company has only disappointed. That is why we are seeing underperformance with respect to the broader market. I think it is better to get out of the stock because the earnings are not justifying the valuation, and it is the period where high growth stocks are definitely got beaten down by the markets because of the higher cost of money. Better shift to the value stocks like the one we have talked about in the show.
This one is for you, Kunal, coming from Santi, RPG Life Sciences. What he's mentioning is that 6 months ago, he already booked profits on this particular counter because he saw the stock actually build in some good momentum. But now he wants to know whether it makes sense to go ahead and enter afresh in RPG Life, because after hitting highs of around 900, it is actually seeing a decline.
Yeah, seeing a decline, that's okay, but I think what we generally look out for, that whether it's a start of a new trend, or whether the old trend of sideways begins for the stock or retreats for the stock. So as of now, it seems like, because the volumes have started to jump up higher for RPG Life in this move, the stock has recovered from 750 levels to I think at one point was just about that 900 mark. So I think it's a good phase of correction because of the jump of volumes and the recent sudden rise for the stock price. It seems that a major bottom is in place. So this 40-point, 50-point dip which you're seeing from yesterday's high, I think is a good opportunity where you should look to trade or buy.
Kunal, I'm going to come back to you because this query is on Reliance call option actually, and Denny from UK is holding the call option 2340 at 68 rupees 10 lots. Should they still continue to hold this or exit this one?
Yeah, you can continue to hold on. I think the call option is right now at 88 or 90 odd rupees if I'm not wrong. And the stock is now in the money significantly. 2340 as well as a good support for Reliance Industries. So and the breakout which we've shown at the start of the show as well, that how the charts are poised for Reliance Industries. My sense is that the stock should get into a very swift upward trending move. So you're sitting in the money. You may probably trail your stop losses by a margin, but at every rise, maybe you can start at say 100 odd levels approximately. That's a point where you may look to start booking out profits gradually.
Okay, Manish Raju has a query on two counters. One is AB Capital, which he has about 250 shares, 500 shares of IDFC First that he's bought almost at the current market price. These are the only stocks in the financial space that he has in his portfolio, linked somewhere close to financial space. He wants to know whether he should add some more, and if yes, then at what levels should he add, or look to enter or look to exit? Kunal?
Well, I think you should look to hold on to both of them. I think AB Capital and IDFC First Bank, they are very strong breakout candidates. In fact, these stocks have already confirmed a breakout. It's just that this phase of the markets where the stocks which have managed to provide breakout earlier, they are holding above their breakout zones and going into a time-wise correction. So it's just a phase of the markets where you'll have to stick by patiently with these kind of winners. I believe eventually once the market gets into a trending mode, these stocks would again start to perform quite well. So I would suggest to hold on both of these stocks.
Saurabh, we have V. Mathur, senior citizen from Delhi, who's writing to us and saying that is it a good time to actually buy Trent if they are ready to hold it for a time period of 3 years? And also in 1 year also, would we see a good move coming in 1.5 years as well?
I think recent earnings, surprised the street, and that is why we saw that good amount of buying has started coming in Trent. And I think the management is quite confident. We'll see one more quarter if the company shows consistency in the operations. Then I think it makes sense to buy for a long term. I think if you want to chip in, you can chip in. Wait for buy in a staggered manner, buy some partial here, and wait for the next quarter earnings. And if the earnings surprise on the upside, then add some more.
So that's the view coming in on Trent. But on that note, we slip into break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we will continue taking all of your stock-related queries. So viewers, stay tuned.
Mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch.
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. Let's keep it going with all your stock related queries. Saurabh, we have the next query, and this is on IRCTC coming in from Bharatwaj from Coimbatore. They're holding 120 shares of IRCTC at an average price of 760 rupees per share. Can they add more at the current market price if they're a long-term investor?
I think here also the valuations are higher. I would not recommend to add stock because the growth is still not at the level where the valuations can be justified. So I would not recommend to buy IRCTC.
Okay, Kunal Srikutan wants to know about RHI Magnesita, I believe. He has some shares at a price of around 788 rupees per share. Should he average, hold or exit? And he wants a short to medium term view.
Well, I would suggest to just hold on to it as of now, not to average at current levels. The stock is nearing a bounce back towards its 200 moving average. So wait out for maybe another couple of days. If the stock doesn't break the support of 650, then you may look to average further.
Okay. Saurabh, Hamsa from Coimbatore is holding 370 shares of IOC at an average price of 113 rupees per share. Can they add more? They are holding this actually for the dividend purpose, and they are a senior citizen. So what is your view on this?
I would not recommend to hold IOC because of the operational problems, because they one side earlier they were gaining on the refining side and were losing on the marketing side. Now the refining margins have also cooled off from the peaks that we saw in the in the quarter of April to June, and on the retail side also they tend to lose money. So I would not recommend to buy IOC just for the sake of dividend. I think it is better to chip in the energy stocks, renewable energy stocks like NHPC, SJVN. Here the earnings potential is quite higher, and even the company projections are in the next 2-3 years the revenue will get doubled, and moreover he will get a yield of more than 5%.
All right, this one is coming from Mukil Kunal. This one is also for you. He's writing to us from Bangalore. He's saying 2 days ago he bought India Cement's 200 call option at 7 rupees. Now it's down. He's asking what's your view on this one on the charts?
Well, yeah, I think the option is now almost at 4 rupees or slightly below that. You can continue to hold on as of now, but I would suggest that maybe keep a stop loss on the trade on the spot level, say 194, which is also today's low approximately. That should be your stop loss of the stock. Breaks below that level, then I think you should look to exit.
Saurabh, we have Subramaniam A, who's holding 15 shares of Vardhaman at around 3050. For a long term if they're looking, should they continue to hold this or sell this stock?
I think going forward, it is expected that the raw material cost pressures will abate, and I think, in my opinion, the last few months, the stock has bottomed out, and the value has emerged in the prices. So, in my sense, I think it is good to hold for the next time.
This one has come from Hemant, and he's mentioned that he's a big fan of you, Kunal. So he wants to know your views on KRBL as well as Jindal Poly for the next 3 to 4 years. But then I believe I will have to take this question to Saurabh, isn't it, Saurabh?
I think KRBL is a story where I think because of the food inflation and the projected higher prices that the company is getting for the rice, I think the profitability is expected to go up. And the second stock is not in our coverage.
Okay. Kunal, I'm going to come to you for the next query, and this query we have is coming in from, it's on Adani Power actually in terms of charts, from Kaushik Mitra from Mumbai. They're holding Adani Power at 292 levels. They just want to know in terms of chart trends, how is it looking like Adani Power?
Well, I mean, of course, doesn't look good because the stock has been just hitting lower circuits, continuously. I think over the last 8-10 days, there have been, periods where the stock had opened into a, rather opened out from this downward circuit and moved up higher. But then I think those have been actually opportunities to try and exit the stock. I think in this kind of a scenario, it's very difficult to try and preempt how the technicals would play out. Till the time the stock or the sell-off doesn't stabilize, it becomes very, very difficult to preempt where would be the bottom for these stocks. So we'll wait out for a point where maybe the stock stabilizes, the selling awaits for the stock, and then you may expect some sort of a gradual recovery.
Okay, I have two of our viewers who've asked query on Polyplex. One is coming in from Dhananjay. He's saying he's bought 45 shares of Polyplex for a long-term view, but after poor set of earnings, does it make sense to stay put with the counter or look to exit this one? Also, do you think that it's worth adding on to some more at these levels is what Dhananjay is asking Saurabh. And the next one has come from Satya. He also has Polyplex and his purchase price is 1,750 rupees per share. So his also views, he's also asking the same view. What should he do? Should he add some more or look to exit the counter?
I think if you look at the last 3-4 quarter earnings, the profitability and the margins are consistently going down from 300-400 crore worth of profitability. It has now gone to approximately 80 crore. And that is the reason probably the stock has been seen a sustained selling. In my opinion, I think it is better to get rid of the stock. And if you haven't bought it, don't buy it.
Kunal, the next query is on India Bulls Housing Finance. Sukumar from Chennai has 680 shares of India Bulls Housing Finance at 123 rupees per share. For a 3-month period, what should they do? Should they continue to hold this?
See, ideally, I would have recommend to exit the stock because of the way the stock has been trending down consistently over the last many years. But the only catch this time around is that the stock is forming what we technically mentioned as an RSI divergence, where in the last 1 month, not even 1 month, last 15 odd days, the stock has made a fresh low. So I think 120 was the previous low for the stock. Today or yesterday, the stock made a low which was just around that 106, 107 mark. But on both the attempts, the RSI has made a higher low. So which means sooner or later the stock would get into a bounce process. So I would suggest to hold on to this stock as of now. 120, 123 could be a target which you may look to exit the stock if the stock bounces back, say in the next 2 to 3 trading sessions.
Okay, I have a couple of actually short-term queries. So let me take this one to you, Saurabh. This one's come from Vaibhav, and he wants a view on alkyl amines. Should he add some more at current levels? He has 50 shares at a price of 2,900 rupees per share. Fundamentally, you think it makes sense to stay put with this one?
I think there's a huge amount of volatility in terms of pricing of the products and the raw material costs. So it is very difficult to take a call. It is largely a tactical bet. So I would not recommend to average it out.
I'm going to come to you again. We have Hemant who wants a fundamental view on Ratan India Enterprises and ABFRL. If they're considering to buy any of these for a period of 3 to 5 years, which one would it be?
Ratan India is not in our coverage, and Aditya Birla Fashion Retail is doing it is posting good numbers. Some of the few brands have crossed the 1,000 mark even, and the company is quite bullish on for the ensuing quarter. So I would recommend. I would say that it is good to hold ABFR.
Okay, this one is for you, Kunal, and I have a couple of actually queries lined up for you. So you please be prepared. There will be back-to-back queries to you right now. This one has come from Jay Krishnan. He's asking about Godrej Properties for the medium term. 1,354 is his buy price. What should he do? Exit or enter some other counter? And if yes, he should look to exit, then which is the other counter that he should look at?
Well, I would not suggest an exit. I think the stock has fallen sharply already from, I think, 2,600, 700 mark to currently at 1,100 mark. So it's gone through a pain of more than 50%, 60%. If you're looking to buy at current levels, and I believe that the stock is also at a major support point for itself. So yes, there could be a minor correction at play, maybe another 4-5% on the downside. But then sooner or later, the stock should get into a bounce back process because of this time-wise correction the stock has already shown. So I would suggest that it's a good time where you can look to start buying on dips.
Saurabh, the next query is from Raman from Chennai, and this is on Amber Enterprises. You know, given that they are quoting and trading somewhere near its 52-week low levels, and obviously in terms of just the PLI schemes coming in, would you suggest a good time to buy Amber Enterprises right now?
I think there are some concerns with respect to their clients in the market, and also if you look at the margins, it is a business of very thin margins. If you look at the bottom line, it is minuscule part of the top line. So I would not recommend to go for the Amber Enterprises.
Okay, this next one that I have is coming in from Rajesh Maheshwari, and he wants to know about Sona BLW. He has 100 shares at an average price of 523 rupees per share. How do you see the short-term outlook for this one, Kunal, and should he continue to hold, sell, or look to average?
Well, the short-term trend still looks a bit, I would say, in a downward trend for Sona Comstar, Sona, BLW. But it's just that the indicators on the weekly charts are starting to get into a minor reversal. It's not yet given a confirmation. The stock has stopped falling as such relatively. It's trading above the 50-day moving average. So what was extremely negative for the stock maybe a month back is now coming towards maybe a neutral territory for the stock. So we'll wait out for maybe another, 3 to 4 weeks. Let the stock give confirmation of a breakout. The first level of breakout could be above the 480 mark for the stock. The second could be maybe a weekly closing or a closing above the 200-day moving average. That could happen above the 500 mark. So if you're looking to buy or average, I would suggest wait out for another couple of weeks. Let these two price points get confirmed as a breakout point. Then you may look to average or add.
Saurabh, Bharat is holding Goldium at 175 rupees per share as well as Devyani at 175 rupees per share. So should they look to average these stocks or maybe switch to something like a Balkrishna Industries is the question.
Devyani is not in coverage, and I think the restaurant player is doing well, and in the coming quarter it is expected that the profitability is likely to improve, and there is no point in chipping in the Balkrishna industry because the recent earnings were actually soft with respect to the market expectation. In the international business, the company is making losses, and some of the large inventory is still piled up, which is still yet to go in the March quarter also. The margins would be in pressure and the profitability too will be in pressure. So I would not recommend to go for the Balkrishna industry.
Okay, this one is from Nino and CRM Silk chart. How does it look over the short to medium term, Kunal? He's not mentioned whether he's invested or he's looking to invest, but on the charts, how does this counter look?
Nothing exciting. I think the stock has again moved sideways over the last 1 year. In fact, 425, 440 is the previous support for the stock, and that could probably hold on to the stock this time around as well. The only thing which has changed for the charts on the weekly time frame is most of the indicators are now getting into a not a neutral territory, but a phase which is below the neutral territory. So they are starting to get into a bearish territory for themselves on the weekly time frame. That could alter the prospects for the stock over the near term. So I would not suggest to rush up and buy the stock at current levels. Maybe wait out for another few weeks till the time the confirmation happens that the stock is not going to a breakdown mode.
Okay, on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of your stock-related queries after this break.
Suresh. Yes, brother.
The market every trading day only on ET Now.
profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. Broader market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. Broader market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. Broader market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. The next query is coming in from Anthony, and Anthony has purchased Bikaji Foods at a level of 425 rupees per share. Wants to know for the next 1 year what to do with the counter, and also makes sense to average right now. What's your view on this one, Saurabh? Do you think Bikaji Foods is one of the best? Makes sense at least for 1 year to stay put with this one, and makes sense to also average out?
I think it is a recent listing, and considering the fact that we haven't seen much quarters from the company coming in, it is very difficult to say whether to add upon. And on the valuation side, also it is trading at a higher valuation side. I mean, close to 11 times book value. Let us see 1 or 2 quarter earnings, and then I think we'll be able to take a more constructive view on the company.
The next query is on JK Tires. K. Venugopal from Hyderabad wants to know whether it's a good time to average JK Tires if they have earlier bought 50 shares at 208 rupees.
Yeah, I think it's a good zone to average. 154 is where the stock is trading, almost exactly or just closer to its 200 moving average. So that's also a good retracement for JK Tyre, and the entire tire space seems to be doing pretty well for themselves. Now, yes, there have been recent corrections for the tire stocks, but net and I think the entire sector looks very attractive. So buying the stock at a 20-25% previous to your previous purchase price, I think is a good strategy for JK Tyres.
All right, with that, let's kickstart with the rapid fire then. And the first one is coming from Narasima Murthy, and this one is coming for you. Saurabh, for the long term, does it make sense to enter ABB right now?
I think it is better to buy in a staggered manner because the stock has seen a good amount of run.
Kunal, Nitin Parekh from Pune has 30 shares of Siemens at around 987. Can they add more?
Siemens at 987, yes, you can look to add further.
Okay, Mohit Sharma wants to know about Vedanta at current levels. Good time to buy, Kunal, for medium term?
Well, I would prefer probably a Jindal Steel or a JSW Steel if you can go with a slight high beta.
Saurabh, Guru wants to know on Kitex Garments whether it's a good time to buy this stock for a long term on the fundamentals.
I think the recent numbers are not good. It is better to avoid.
Okay, two queries coming in on Aisho Motors. One is from Ramesh, 302 shares at the price of 3,320. And Chandan also has some shares at 2,750 rupees. What should they do? Continue to hold on to this one for the longer term, Saurabh?
I think they can go for long term.
Okay. Kunal Suraj from Kochi wants to know, is it a good time to enter Titan?
Yeah, it's a good time to enter the stock. It's come back above the 200 moving average. The recent correction seems to be over. Good time to buy.
Okay, Kunal, does it make sense to buy Indiabulls real estate right now? Sunita from Bangalore wants to know.
I would suggest to avoid.
Saurabh, for a long term, would you suggest to buy HUL or HCL Tech right now?
HCL Tech would be a better option.
Okay, Vijay from Dubai wants to know about TNPL, the Tamil Nadu paper company. 1,000 shares is what he has. What should he do? Stay put with this one, Kunal?
Well, I would suggest to exit the stock if you're holding at higher levels.
Saurabh, the viewers holding 3,000 shares of PB Fintech at around 520 rupees, should they continue to hold this or exit for a long term?
I think it is better to exit.
Okay, Ajit wants to know if GNA Axles is a good buy at current market price for a period of 1 year, Kunal?
Well, yeah, I think at current levels of 855.60 is a good level to buy.
Saurabh, viewer wants to know KEI Industries, is it a good time to buy this one for the mid to long term?
I think it is a very interesting space. For the long term, it makes sense to buy.
All right, and with that, we've come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the query segment. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Saurabh for joining us on the show, giving us your take, an extensive take on Reliance Industries as well as resolving viewer queries. And with that, it's time for us to say goodbye. So it's goodbye from Winnie, myself, and the team that put the show together. But stay tuned, Markets at Noon coming up next.
Top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
Motor market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
Motor market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
Motor market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space.
Indian markets are flat as the action is very news-based. Gains in metals, auto offset by FMCG and pharma, which are under pressure. Reliance is the biggest positive contributor to the Nifty today. TVS Motors is in the spotlight and it's in the fast lane after the Economic Times reports that its EV company could be in talks with big players like ADIA, Goldman, Carlyle to raise $300 to $350 million. If the deal goes through, it could become the most valuable two-wheeler EV maker in the world. Torrent Power is one of the biggest buzzes today after a stellar Q3. The profit almost doubles, driven by gains in the gas trading business. PI Industries, meanwhile, sees robust performance in its custom synthesis manufacturing business. Bharat Forge, on the other hand, is on the receiving end after the company reports a miss in the overseas business in the third quarter. Margins come in below estimates. Brokerages remain muted on the stock. Target price and estimate cuts follow. It's a historic deal for Air India as it places the largest single order for 470 aircraft. This will be the Maharaja making a dent in Indian aviation space. Everyone from Prime Minister Modi, US President Joe Biden and French President Macron have hailed the deal. Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Noon on ET Now. I'm Anisha Jain. Well, for the markets, it's a pretty okay screen that we are looking at this point of time. We have managed to hold on to 17,900 off the lowest point of the trading session. In terms of the various sectors, well, it's autos, which is in a bit of a reverse gear. Of course, the numbers from Bharat Forge was disappointing, though you have Eicher Motors, which is actually managing to buck the trend today after reporting a miss on the margins yesterday. The street is quite excited by the fact that perhaps the valuations have now become attractive, and that's the reason perhaps that counter is also doing a bit of a reaction. You also have those flashes at the bottom of the screen wherein SBI has increased the bulk deposit rates as well. There was a bit of delay in transitioning of that because the banks clearly had a very strong balance sheet and CASA profile, so they were not passing on the higher interest rates in terms of the fixed deposit rates, but that is now finally trickling in, and perhaps that will spur the deposit growth going forward as well. Stock-wise, Pankaj, it's very, very earnings heavy. You are seeing individual counters which are buzzing around, but not a big trend that you can spot at the moment.
Right, but the flashes at the bottom of your screen are pretty interesting. SBI is supposed to be the trend leader. They have passed on the asset prices, but did not pass on a lot of the deposit prices. So their NIMs were expanding across the board. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see, how they pass on further price hikes. So it, of course, as you said, it makes attractive for investment into fixed deposit. And secondly, what it does is that asset and liability, the pricing that they were doing. So what sort of NIMs they will deliver now, or maybe not in this quarter, but maybe in the June quarter, the numbers that the industry delivers would be interesting. That is something which everybody is waiting for. And strong deposit franchise like SBI, HDFC, of course, are the ones to look out for. So that's the one that everyone is focusing in on. Let's go across now to our first market guest, Nagaraj Shetty, technical derivative analyst, research analyst at HDFC. Nagaraj, let's start with the markets first. What essentially is happening? What are you looking at in terms of trend? There seems to be very, very low movement across a lot of stocks.
Yes, good afternoon. Nifty has been in a range-bound movement over the last few sessions, but internally you can look at the formation of higher tops and bottoms over the period of time on the daily chart is indicating that trend strength of the market is still intact. Currently, market is facing resistance around 17,950 to 18,000 level and moving a sideways range. I'm expecting a consolidation to continue at least for one or two sessions, and eventually Nifty could move above the hurdle of 17,950 to 18,000 levels. So this is going to be a buy on dips or buy at current price for the market.
What will be your top ideas then?
Yeah, my top idea actually from IT sector. IT sector has been in a strong uptrend. Even though placed at the resistance, I'm expecting that to be broken on the upper side, and IT stocks are likely to move further. In that sense, I'm giving first stock pick is Emphasis. The chartically Emphasis has been in a gradual uptrend over the last few weeks, currently placed at the resistance around the 2175 to 2180 levels, and the overall chart pattern is indicating that we are likely to see upside breakout of this consolidation, larger consolidation very soon. So I'm expecting this to move up. One can look to buy around 2160 levels, which is currently trading. And the target would be around 2260 levels, and one can place a stop loss around 2100. The next stock is Route Mobile, which is from IT Midcap. Chartically, the stock was in a downtrend over the last many months and was forming a lower tops and bottoms. Recently, around 1150 at that levels, it formed a bottom reversal. And last week, upside bounce, and the positive chart pattern is indicating that the stock is likely to trend higher by breaking the immediate resistance of around 1250, 1260 levels. Currently showing consolidation. I'm expecting upside breakout of this range in the short term. And one can buy around 1240, and target would be around 1300 levels by placing a stop loss around 1205. That's all from my side.
So, thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us. Good to get perspective from you. Let's pull up Torrent Power. Torrent Power is a stock that has seen QOQ YOY growth with strong numbers, at least at the face of it, and a strong dividend. But why essentially it's a buzz, Anisha?
It is because, as you pointed out, the reported numbers are very strong, 86% growth on a year-on-year basis, sequentially as well 42% growth. But obviously, you need to take into account the one-time gain that has come in of almost 400 crores, which was on account of LNG trading. But even if you strip that out, the inherent operational performance has actually improved. Now, you talked about the dividend. I'll come to that in a bit. But before that, let's talk about the distribution business of the company, because there as well, the EBITDA grew by 21% on a year-on-year basis. And more importantly, the distribution losses have been coming down. So for instance, for Bhiwandi, it's down 200 basis points. For Agra as well, there has been an improvement of 200 basis points. And if you look at the outer Mumbai and Thane region, there has been a 600 basis point improvement when it comes to the distribution losses. The company has been investing a lot in renewable energy, and that is now showing into the numbers as well. So in the quarter gone by, there was a contribution of 21 crores on a PBT level from the new acquisitions. And going forward, the company is talking about adding around 5 gigawatt of portfolio in renewable over the next 3 to 5 years. Dividend yield has been strong, around 5% for FY23, because they announced a 22 rupees dividend as well in Q3. And the most important bit, what the analysts are really excited about and are calling it the growth catalyst for the company, is the fact that they have applied for the parallel license in some of the circles in Maharashtra. So for Thane, Palghar, Nagpur and Pune. Obviously, they'll need the regulator approval for that, but this is something that can augur well for the company, and that's why Axis Cap has actually upgraded the counter to an add from a reduce, and the target price stands at around 505. But Pankaj, not just Torrent Power, you have a lot of news flow coming in from the auto sector. TVS Motors is definitely on the radar.
Absolutely. It's up around 3.5%. And once again, it's EV. Yeah. What sort of funding they are doing. Let's go across to Winnie now. She's been scanning what reports are suggesting.
Absolutely, it seems like TVS's EV arm is actually looking to get some fund infusion, and we could see the checks coming in from ADIA, Goldman Sachs, Carlyle, for its TVS Motors EV arm, which is for a valuation of around $3 billion to $3.5 billion. Now, obviously, if this deal actually takes place, TVS Motors, this arm will actually become the most valuable two-wheeler EV arm in the country. And currently, let's not forget, the market valuations for TVS Motors is around 51,200 crores. Now, TVS Electric was actually an arm which was incorporated in December 2021, which is an investment of around 1,000 crores. And it's the second largest electric two-wheeler maker in the country in terms of the volumes coming in. Also, they have raised a stake in Ultraviolet Automotive Private Limited in the electric vehicle space of to around 34%. They bought 70% stake in British e-bike maker EBCO as well, which is a UK company as well. So keep an eye out on this one. If this deal goes through, it's surely going to be the most valuable companies in terms of the electric vehicle space, two-wheeler electric vehicle space. And the deal structure seems quite similar to the ones that we've seen coming in Tata Motors EV with TPG investment in the company as well. And this is according to the ET reports that we've seen coming in.
Thanks, Winnie. 3% higher TVS on that note. 20 points down for the Nifty. Taking a break. Stay tuned.
Per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
Broader market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range, expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.